Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my review for episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett with spoilers. That is your warning. Make sure you've seen episodes 1 to 6. We're going spoiler heavy. And with that being said, oh my god. I'm going to keep it real. After episode 5, I kind of thought that 6 and 7 might be a little bit of a drop down. I can't believe it. This was the absolute This is the greatest, man. The episode starts out and we're introduced once again to the Marshal. Not gonna lie, I did not think he would show up for this episode. When I did see him, I had in my mind that we're only gonna see everything on Tatooine with Boba, Marshal. He'll probably team up by the end. I saw, like, a cliche story starting to happen. I was proper wrong, obviously, as you know. He slaps those 3 pikes, he lets the other one go, and obviously that one's, like, baited him up so bad, because we know what happens, but we'll get there in a minute. Yeah, I actually enjoyed seeing the Marshal again, man. Timothy Olyphant is an amazing actor, and I'm always down to see him in Star Wars. Probably never going to see him ever again. And then we got what I think everyone in the Star Wars community wanted to see. We wanted to see Mando, go and see Grogu, and possibly Luke. I actually said in my episode 5 review, I do believe we will see Luke, but it might be like a faraway shot with his like hood up or something. Maybe he's training Grogu, but we'll get a Grogu and Mando scene like together, and I was obviously properly wrong. I love the planet and I'm so glad to see R2-D2 once again. They have a nice little chat. He says, yeah man, sure, I'll take you to Luke, but little did you know, you're going to be waiting quite a long time, mate. They go to where these like spider droids are building the first like new temple, and oh, it's so good to see him in there. That was one of the things I actually liked a lot seeing in The Last Jedi. I think the temples look really, really sick, so I'm glad they're like building the very first one. Obviously, we saw like a tiny bit of it in The Force Awakens, but it's just like, you know, flash images from Rey, and this was like up close, being built. I love to see it. Those droids, kind of creepy. Not gonna lie, I really hate spiders. And then R2-D2 just bounces, mate. Turns himself up, he's like, yo, I'm gonna have a nap. They're building you a bed. You have a nap. You're going to be waiting a long time. And then we get, oh my god, just the greatest thing ever. Full on Luke training Grogu, and yo, what happened to Luke's face? It looks so good. It looks actually unbelievable. It looks so much better than Mando Season 2, the finale episode. I don't know how, like, they improved it so much, but it looked crisp. At the start, I was like, worried. I was like, yo, man, it is so bright outside. This is like a full daylight shot. No shadows or nothing to hide it. It looks amazing. It looks so, so good. I was so pleased to see it, man. And then now we know we can get, like, full episodes of older characters. Man, I'm just saying, the possibilities right now for Star Wars, genuinely endless. And then we see Grogu basically trying to catch and eat a frog. He's still up to his old mischief self. So Luke, man, just goes OP. He's like, yeah, I'm a buffet, mate. Lift them all up. I love to see it. Great little scene. They then take a nice little trip through the forest. I love that Luke is basically like carrying him with the Force, making him take these giant steps. Obviously, later on, he teaches him how to like do like a little Yoda jump. In fact, we got a lot of Yoda references throughout the whole episode. Luke is like explains to him that his old master Yoda spoke in riddles, and he always used to say size matters not, man. Being real with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, there was like 3 points I started tearing up, man. Genuine. This was an emotional episode. It hit all the right notes. Absolute banger. But then we go from crying emotional happiness to like a nightmare, mate. Luke unlocks part of his mind, and we've seen Order 66 stuff happen. Oh my god. I had genuine goosebumps seeing that. Oh my god, bro. Time to the prequels. You are killing it. The Jedi get wiped out, and you can see Grogu is like crapping himself. The flashback was genuine nightmare fuel. Imagine like you saw that and you forgot and then you remembered again. Nah, mate, you'd crap yourself. And then if this episode couldn't get any more crazy, Mando wakes up and Ahsoka's there. Yes! Ahsoka then explains to Mando that their bond is gonna really, really mess up their training, man. Obviously, she knows full well how things can go from like cute and all this stuff to absolute chaos when you're trained to be a Jedi, man. She knows firsthand, and I love that it's coming from her perspective, telling Mando, and he can see like Grogu and Luke training. He gives like the Mandalorian armor to Ahsoka. Basically, it's like, look, you give it to him. I'll stay out of it. I love that she convinces him, but she doesn't like push it too much. She says like, you can go, but you're going to disrupt and do a lot more damage. And obviously, of course, Mando picks the right decision for the time. And man, Ahsoka anytime she's on screen, it just brings so much together because she's like through the timeline of so much of Star Wars. Seeing her, man, it's just amazing. We then get even more training montages between Luke and Grogu. I'll be honest, I did not think at this point in the show, we're like halfway sort of thing, I didn't think we'd be seeing all this. I was like, just pure happiness. Pure happiness seeing this. The training with the ball droid and he learning his like super jump, Jedi jump, whatever you want to call it. Learning all this stuff, man, it's so good. And then the highlight for me, if I'm being honest, Ahsoka, like having a chat with Luke, just, you know they've spoken about Anakin so many times. You know, man. Just, I'm thinking of everything, and then she says the line, "You remind me of your father," and I was dead, mate. Proper, full-on man tears, mate. I had to pause it. I was gone, man. The writers, I know Dave Filoni directed this episode, mainly because there's so many like characters, and obviously Ahsoka is his baby sort of thing, and man, this episode hit all the emotional beats. Absolute masterpiece. Mando then goes back to Tatooine, having a little like boss meeting with Boba Fett. I don't think Boba Fett said a single word in this episode. For 2 episodes now, nothing. I'm not complaining. These 2 episodes, probably like the best Star Wars episodes ever, next to the Mando, the Ahsoka episode, and the season 2 finale. I'm just saying, but it's kind of weird it's in his show. But whatever, it doesn't matter. This was a masterpiece anyway. Mando's like, I know some guys. He goes to see the Marshal. They have a nice little chat. You kind of get the idea that Marshal will join them. I did think that at the start of the episode. And then, out of nowhere, goddamn Cad Bane comes out of nowhere, mate, and just wipes them out. Dead finish, mate. If you know Clone Wars, you know all that stuff, you know. He is absolutely no joke, man. Arguably the best gunslinger in, like, Star Wars. I'm just saying. He's obviously on the side of the Pikes. I don't know if he's, like, properly with them or if he's, like, being hired. Let me know your theory, man, down below. That'd be awesome. Obviously, I'm assuming we're going to get more of him in the finale episode, but he looks so good. The voice is, of course, on the dot, mate. He is dangerous. Bro, he came through the desert on his own. No ship. Like, it's nothing. Blasts him out of nowhere and then just bounces, mate. What an entrance. If you're watching this and you're like, I have no idea who this guy is, you're in for a rude awakening, mate. Get ready. The Pikes then go to the cantina and kill everyone. This episode was actually insane. Like, I think a lot of people are going to be stuck on the Luke and just forget everything else. This episode from start to finish was actually bonkers. It was so amazing. And then the finale to end all finales, mate. Luke giving Grogu the opportunity, man. You can take the chain armor, the chainmail, and you can go after Mando. He even says, like, a portion of his training is like a lifetime for people. I think that was the biggest hint. For me, he will go back to the Mando. I know obviously a lot of people called it out, man, because of the ship. You know he's going to fit in that little whole thing. But I got chills seeing Yoda's lightsaber again, and he mentions Yoda again, and oh, man, so good. I think, by the way, obviously we got Luke with the lightsaber training in the forest. There's probably tons of stuff that I'm going to forget. I literally, at the time of this recording, I just stopped it and turned the camera on immediately. I'm going to watch it a few more times, but man, what a masterpiece. I personally think he will take the chainmail. I don't know if Grogu will arrive on Tatooine before this, like, war happens, or maybe it'll be after. I don't know if Luke's going to, like, send him straight away. I personally, just because of all the hints, a lot of people said it with the Starfighter, with the, like, section that Grogu can blatantly, like, sit in. I personally think he will go back to the Mando, and then it'll keep the Mando show running, the whole, like, father and son theme. I don't know if that means Luke will now help in this, like, a war thing. He might just drop him off and bounce, but I'd be quite surprised if he takes the lightsaber. I'm leaning to, like, 80% he's going to go back with the Mando. What do you guys think? Go spoiler crazy. Let me know down below. It's kind of insane that we're at this, like, peak of hype right now, and we've got 1 episode left. I know a lot of people on the live streams have been saying maybe we'll get a season 2 of Boba Fett just to tie this up. I think this will end with this episode, the last episode. It will end there, and, like, the Pike villains won't be the real villains. Maybe Crimson Dawn, maybe someone completely different. I can't see it ending this whole thing with 1 episode, unless it's like an hour-and-a-half insane episode, which could be done. I mean, nothing at this point now would surprise me. We've got so much Luke Skywalker. He looks so good. Cad Bane, mate, this episode was an absolute banger. For me, this, by the way, is Legions. For me, personally, Legions better than episode 5. And I gave 5 a God tier 10 out of 10. This, for me, is beyond God tier. Which just means this cannot be touched, mate. This episode, the Ahsoka episode, and the last finale episode of the Mando Season 2. Those three are beyond God tier. Some of the best episodes of just television I've ever seen. Absolute bangers. Absolute masterpieces. I cannot wait for the finale. Hopefully it lands on a hype and maybe Boba will say something. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in a bit.